In this video, we're looking at the mean, median, mode, and range for a set of data. Now, the mean, median, and mode are what we call measures of location because they give an indication of a central value, so a set value of a data set. Now, the range is what we call a measure of spread because it gives an indication of how widely spread the scores are in a set of data. So the first one of these we're going to look at is what we call the mean. So the mean is just the average for a data set, and we find the mean by having the sum of scores. So you're adding up all the scores, and then you divide it by the number of scores there are. So the mean is usually the one that provides the most information out of all these things. It's the most commonly used. So here we have a data set, and we need to find the mean. So remember, the mean is the sum of scores, so the adding up all the scores, divided by the number of scores. So for this example, we're going to have 23 plus 20 plus 12 plus 15 plus 28 plus 19 plus 15 plus 14 and plus 18. And we're going to divide this by the number of scores. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll divide it by 9. You put this in the calculator, and it comes out with 18.2 if we round it up. So the mean for this data set is 18.2. That's the average score. Now, the next one I'm going to look at is what we call the median. So the median is the middle score of a data set. So if you have an odd number of scores, the median is the middle score. If you have an even number of scores, it's the average of those two middle numbers. So you have to add them together and divide it by 2. So the median is useful when your data set contains outliers. Now this is because outliers can dramatically impact the mean and can skew the data. So using the data set below, we're going to find not the mean, we're going to find the median. So the first thing you need to do with these types of data sets when you're trying to find the median is rewrite them from smallest to largest. Alright, so we're going to reorder them now. So 12 is our smallest, then we have 14, 15, another 15, we have 18, 19, 20, and then we have 23 and 28. So I'll just make sure we have the right numbers. We had 9 numbers up above, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have 9 numbers down the bottom, so we didn't miss any. That's good. So now what we need to do is find our middle number. So the way I like to do it is called crossing them off. So we're going to cross off the ends, and then we cross off the ends again, and we continue to cross off the ends until we get to our middle number here. So this here is our median. Alright, now if we had a number set, let's say 12, 14, 15, and then let's say 30, we can do the same trick, cross, cross, until we get to here, and now we have 2 numbers in the middle. So what we do here to get our median is 18 plus 19 over 2, and that gets us 18.5. So our median in this case is 18.5 when you have 2. Now we're going to look at what we call the mode. The mode is the score that occurs the most. So the mode is useful when you're dealing with categorical data, so not numbers, as categorical data does not have a mean or a median. So below, using the data set, we need to find our mode. And remember, mode is the number that occurs the most. And in this case, we have 2 15s, no other numbers double, so our mode is 15. Now, what happens if I had that number set again, except this time I have another 18 at the end. So we have 2 15s and we also have 2 18s. So our mode is 15 and 18. Next one we're looking at is the range. So the range is just the highest score, take away the lowest score. So our highest score in this case is 18 and the lowest score is 12. So our range will be 28, take away 12, which is 16. Now I'm going to introduce you to outliers. So an outlier is an extremely high or low score that is separated from the other scores. So in our case here, in this data set, we have a 2, and it is very, very far away from the next one. The next score closest to the 2 is actually 12, so there's a 10 number difference. So we would say that 2 is an outlier. So to recap, we have the mean, and the mean is just the average, so the sum of the scores divided by the number of scores, and it's usually the one that provides the most information. We have the median, which is the middle number. Now remember, we did the cross method where you cross one off from each side until you get to the middle. Now if you have an odd number, it is the middle number. If you have an even, you have to add them together and divide it by 2. Now the median is useful when your dataset contains outliers, because the mean is affected by these outliers. Mode, the mode again is the most common score that occurs, and it's useful when you're dealing with categorical data. And lastly, an outlier. An outlier is an extremely high or low score that is separated from all the other scores.